Peace ngayon, war bukas. Pwede ba yon? Kayo rin ba'y nalilito? Nagtatanong kung ano nga bang dapat gawin upang makamit ang kapayapaan sa bayan at sa mundo.
As one nation, as a nation among nations, how do we achieve peace? Does the 1987 Philippine Constitution show us the way? Is there a constitutional imperative to pursue peace and achieve peace through peace? Join me in this exploration of the 1987 Philippine Constitution and what it mandates us and our leaders on the peace question. We are a country engaged in many wars. The armed conflict between the government and the Communist Party of the Philippines has earned the distinction of being the longest-running insurgency in the world today. Some 40,000 have lost their lives in this 40-year civil war. In 1996, the Moro National Liberation Front and the government forged a comprehensive peace agreement, but the two parties totally disagree on what has been achieved. Talks between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front are ongoing. They have managed to sustain the ceasefire, but no solution to ancestral domain and governance claims has been reached. In fact, several times, the Estrada and Arroyo administrations launched major offensives against MILF strongholds, setting off a series of retaliation. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced. Today, the peace process and the ceasefire remain tenuous, a situation favorable to lawless elements who have no regard for humanitarian law, such as the so-called Abu Sayyaf group and the hawks in the AFP. In 2003, President Arroyo joined the US-led coalition of the willing in its attack on Iraq, this without the concurrence of the United Nations. Later, she vowed to crush the communist insurgency by 2010. In the meantime, hundreds of political activists were murdered. The youth, drawn either to the PMA and the CAFGUS or the NPA, continue to shed blood in this war begun by their elders. How can a country, supposedly a democracy, be embroiled in such costly and extreme political violence? In taking this journey, I came equipped with several premises drawn from previous research, reflection, and engagement in practical politics. Foremost is that nobody is winning this war. We are all victims. The high human, economic, and psychosocial costs of war on men, women, and children require alternative solutions to the problems of state and society. Peace, not war, is the militant and revolutionary alternative. War is orthodoxy. Second, the greater responsibility in forging this alternative path lie in the state, given its resources and power. But our political leaders have squandered their authority. Instead of a sustained and cumulative efforts toward peace, what we have seen are indecisiveness and short-sightedness in means and ends. Like any diligent researcher, I set out on this exploration of the peace question by first scouring our Constitution for relevant provisions about peace.
We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of the Almighty God, in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and to secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessings and independence of democracy under the rule of law, and a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace. Do ordain and promulgate this Constitution.
This is very encouraging. The preamble is an important statement of purpose and principle. It assists in the interpretation of certain provisions. But as the law books say, it is not the source of rights in itself. Several constitutions around the world, in fact, have peace in their preamble. Countries as diverse as Ghana, Marshall Islands, Laos, Turkmenistan, Eritrea, and Micronesia. But the preamble is not enough. We need a stronger, more straightforward provision to conclude that peace is a constitutional imperative.